Hello guys, welcome to part 2 of AutoCAD training. This is the MK Academy, and in this part we will cover the modify panel. In the last part we did the draw panel, so in this case we will cover modify panel. So we will be covering move, copy, stretch, rotate, mirror, scale, trim, and then here on trim, we have something. If I open this drop down called extend, so we will also cover extend, and then towards the end we will do offset because we skipped it in the last part, and then we will do how we can use this modify panel by just how we can modify an object by just working with the grips that are there when you select an object. So I will start by drawing a shape first. So I will use auto mode to draw a rectangle. I will begin it here, maybe 12 units, and then 10 units, and then 10 units, 12 units again, and then I can close it by typing CL. So this is the object we will modify, and we'll start with move. So when I click move, or just type the command move, I will have something like this that requests me to first of all select the object. That is what I will do. I will select the object and then I will hit enter. Then I will specify the base point. And then when I specify that is my base point, I can drag it along that line. And there we have it. I will have moved the object successfully. So I can do the same for copy. I can do copy there. I just select the copy command. They work the same way, modify. You begin by selecting the object you want to modify and then hit enter. Then you specify the base point. And then from there, it can start copying. You can see now I have copied and I will keep copying. Let me switch auto mode off so that it stops snapping it only on the horizontal and vertical. Okay, so I will keep copying until I stop, or I just type enter to escape. So you can see it has copied several, so it kind of allows you to do that. So I don't want to keep copying, so in fact I will just delete these copies by just selecting them and hitting delete. I don't want to keep them. Okay, so that is copy. Stretch will work the same way. I will just come and select the object I want to stretch and then hit enter. I specify my base point as that point, and then from that point I can stretch it. You can see it is actually deforming those two lines. Those two lines will be deformed when I'm done stretching. So stretching will kind of deform some of your lines, okay? So let me undo that because I want to retain my initial shape. Let's now work with rotate. So what rotate will do, it will change the position of the object by rotating it. So I will do the same. I will select and then I hit enter. Maybe I want to rotate it. Let me try rotating from now. This is my base point. So I select that point, and now I can now specify the angle of rotation, or I can just rotate if I don't want to put the angle. So if I want to rotate it up to that point, I will just hit my mouse key and it will have rotated. You realize it does not keep the original object. It will move the original object to the place where you have rotated it. Okay, so I will undo that. So mirror will mirror the object. You will see a duplicate object on the other side. If you have an object that you want to create something that is symmetric, you can use mirror. So it works the same way. I just need to pick the command mirror, or just type MI, or just type the whole word mirror. Then I can select, Then once I'm done, I hit enter. I can specify the mirror line. I just want to mirror it along maybe from this point and this way. This is my horizontal mirror line, a vertical mirror line along y-axis. I can also make it horizontal along the x-axis, and you can see the way it is mirroring. Okay. You can also specify an angle if you want to mirror at an angle. But I'll just mirror at that point. So I'll just click, and then you can see it is asking me erase source object. If you click yes, it will delete this initial source object. If I click no, it will retain it. So mirror allows you to retain the original object, because sometimes you just want something that is symmetric. So scaling works the same way also. I select the object I want to scale, and then I just hit enter, and then I want to stretch it, I want to scale it from here. Then you can see the way it is scaling from that point. But I can specify a scale factor. You can see it is allowing me to do that. So I can just type a scale factor 2 and then hit enter. You can see the object has been scaled by a factor of 2. So if I want a smaller object, I can scale it by a factor of 0 point. So let me select the object that I want to scale and then hit enter. Then I can specify the point. Let me specify that. And then I type 0.25 to kind of scale it by a quarter. So you can see now it has reduced by a quarter. Okay, so that is scaling. Now, if you come to trimming, trimming is, let me use a different shape to explain trimming. Let me use a line. So I will draw a line. So let me draw a line up to there. Then I will draw another line. So let me draw another line like that. And then let me delete these because I don't need them. Let me just delete them. So you can see trimming is mostly used to trim objects that have overshoots. So if this is an overshoot, you can just trim it. Maybe you just wanted something like a T and this is overshooting. So trimming will help me do that, but we must have an intersection somewhere. So if I can just copy these by using the command of copy, the one we used. So I just come here and copy. I select the object I want to copy. Then I hit enter. I specify the point from where I want to start copying, and I can just copy some multiple lines there. Once I'm done, I just hit enter. So what if I want to delete an overshoot? So I can just use the function trim. I just come into trim, and then I select the objects, and then I hit enter, and then it will trim the parts that when I move my mouse there, it will trim the part that I don't want. So if I don't want that part, I can just delete it. If I don't want a part like that one, or maybe this is the overshoot, I can delete it. I can also delete that one, so that now if this was a boundary, there is no overshoot, and then I can just hit enter. That is trimming. Now, what if now it is an undershoot, assuming it is an undershoot? So assuming the line is here, and somehow you have another line that does not reach that line there. Let me just, I will not specify the units, so I will just end it at that. Let me copy the line. So let me just copy that line by just clicking copy, and then I select the object I want to copy, and then I can copy it. Then once I'm done, I escape. So this is an undershoot. I want these lines to extend all the way here. So this is an undershoot. So the function we use for undershoots mostly is now the function extend. So when I click extend, then I select the points I want to extend, the objects I want to extend, and then I hit enter. So when I come here, it will extend that line. then I have to click to confirm. If I come here, if I don't click, when I withdraw the mouse, it will not extend. So I have to click, and this is left click on my mouse. So you can see now we have extended those lines, and they are not undershoots anymore. So we can hit enter. So that is how you extend your undershoots. Okay, so there's something called offset, which I want to explain. So what if I have a rectangle? Let me also draw a rectangle, and let me switch on auto mode. So I will draw a rectangle here. And, yeah, so that's not really a rectangle. Let me undo that. Let me do it again. So let me now use precise measurements. I can use 10, then I can use 15 for the vertical. Let me turn auto mode on. Okay, so let me use 15 for the vertical, 10 again here, and then I can CL or close. So if I want to do some offset to this triangle, so what I do is just type O, and then I hit enter. You can see offset is highlighted in blue. I just hit enter, and then it asks me to specify the object of offset distance. I can make it maybe 2 if I want to offset by 2. And then once I'm done, I can select the object I want to offset. This is the object, and then it will offset it by 2 from the outside or from the inside. So what offset is doing, it is creating some duplicate which is scaled either outwards or inwards. Okay, so you can change the offset distance by just typing. Like now I can make it 1, and you can see it has reduced the offset distance. So that is the concept of offsetting. You will use this in the exercise that I provided. Okay, so that is offsetting. You may want to draw a shape like the one I have in exercise 8. You can see you may want to draw something like this, and this is where offset comes in place, or this is where you need to use offset. Okay, I can also modify an object by just doing something here. So if I have a line, let's assume I have a command line. So L, we'll draw a line. So if I have a line, for example, like that, if I select that line, you realize there are some grips that will appear as boxes here, here, and here at the end. These are called grips. I can use also them to maybe move. Like if I use the middle one, I take my cursor there and I can drag. I don't have to drag, I just have to click once and I can move. And then I can move it there. So you can see it is moved. I realized my auto mode is on, and let me turn it off and now move it again. You can see I can move it anywhere. And then when I'm done, just click. I can also use these to stretch, hammer to lengthen, by just coming there, clicking, and adjusting the length. So if I type a length like 5, I want to adjust by 5, I just type 5 there, or I can use tab to switch to the main length here from here to here, and then I can maybe type it as 30, and then I hit enter. It will lengthen that line, and it will lengthen it uniformly. You realize it does not add a new grip, it just lengthens the line. So that is how you can modify just by using those grips. And if you draw a circle, let me delete that line. If I draw a circle, for example, let me draw a circle and I select it, you realize it also has grips. I can also use the grip at the center for the circle to move it. So I just click and move it, and then I drop it there. So if I want to extend the radius, I can use this one and just extend the radius of that circle. Okay, so I'm modifying this object using grips. Okay, so the same can be done if you want to rotate, if you want to copy, and so on and so forth. But I would want to keep it as basic as that for now, for the purpose of this tutorial. So that is how you work with modify. Uh, all the way from move, we have covered move, we have covered copy, stretch, rotate, mirror, scale, extend, trim, and then offset, and then editing objects, modifying objects using grips. So that is it for this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.